Welcome back. Well, childhood is changing for children playing outdoors, reading books, hanging out with family. It's happening a lot less to make room, obviously, for like Snapchatting, Instagramming, catching up on YouTube. Children spending anywhere between 3 to 7 hours daily in front of a screen. So many childhood essentials are pushed aside for, excuse me, online amusements. And joining us now, Dr. Stephanie Hansen, a pediatrician at Sanford Health, to talk about how smartphones can be addictive and what parents of teens can do to reduce their use. Doc, welcome to the show. Happy Tuesday. It's great to see you.
Hi, thanks for having me.
So we'll get to the teen thing. Should we start with the parents first and their addiction to the phone? So I say that so in jest, but I mean, holy cow, they're addictive for everybody. So what can parents be doing to help mitigate this addiction?
Yeah, well, I don't ever take the word addiction lightly, but when you think about the way apps that we use commonly are designed, they're set up in such a way to make us want more, to make us spend long periods of time using those apps. Because let's face it, that's how they make their money. The longer time you spend on an app, the more you maybe view the ads that are present there or interact with it. That's absolutely to the benefit of the tech company. So right out of the gates, you're set up with a challenge for something that is naturally designed to keep you wanting more. And it's enjoyable, it's fun, it's a distraction from everyday life. But it can be a problem because it can interfere with your ability to do the other things to keep yourself healthy. So it may be preventing you from exercise. It may be preventing you from getting good sleep. It may be preventing you from, eating regular meals. And as parents, we're just as prone to that as our children are. And it's up to us to model limit setting and responsible cell phone behavior.
So as a doc, maybe you can help us better understand what's going on neurologically. Because I know people that, they constantly check Instagram to see how many likes, and it literally becomes, I hate to use this sort of phraseology, but almost like a drug for them. So what's going on from a neurological perspective that maybe can help parents understand what's happening and maybe even hack that?
It's that pleasure-seeking center of your brain. So you're seeking out that reward of those likes or that update or something new that you hadn't seen before. And our brains are hardwired to look for novelty. Kids are no different in that, and in fact, they're possibly more susceptible to that cycle than adults are. So it's really up to us to set very firm limits to help them navigate that world safely.
So is there a way, it's so, I think, just evolutionarily there from a neurological perspective. Is there a way to kind of hack that, or maybe just by talking about it with your kids, it'll help them better understand it, or?
I think helping kids understand it is the first one, but understanding that it's really hard for a kid to resist that lure. So I honestly recommend that parents wait until at least 8th grade for their kids to have their own device or their own cell phone. Just removing that temptation, setting those limits early on. So at the time when they're most vulnerable, they're not having to make those decisions on their own. If you have a child that needs a phone for communication, if they have a medical issue, if they need ways to communicate with you when they're away, there are old-fashioned non-smartphones that still work very well for those purposes. So it's less convenient, certainly, but again, I think we're working on protecting that growing brain and helping those kids be ready to manage the pressures of having an online presence.
I think what you said, Doc, is spot on, and yet when you said 8th grade, I could literally hear the gasps from our audience out there in the community. So
I know.
Walk through.
It's hard to do it alone. It's hard to do it alone, and I would encourage you, talk to the parents of your kids' friends. Try to make this something that you do together. Provide them with some resources or some education about why waiting is a beneficial thing. Phones are a hot thing, and I see even really young children who really want the latest phone. They feel like they're the only one who doesn't have it. But it's up to us as parents to set limits and boundaries in all aspects of our kids' life, and cell phones are no different.
So I got about 30 seconds, Doc. Just quickly then, why do you think waiting is so important just from a brain development standpoint?
Yeah, again, that young child's brain is incredibly vulnerable to that sort of stimulation. I've heard it compared to like using a slot machine. You're just coming back for more and more and more, even though it may be causing you harm or damage along the way. You can't see it when you're in the middle of it. And again, that also prevents kids from doing the other things that are important for healthy normal development, like active and imaginative play, getting physical exercise, eating healthy nutrition, reading. If they're spending all of their time on screens, it limits their ability to participate in those other activities.
I think the irony of all irony is that if you do your homework, all the tech CEOs don't let their kids play with all the tech stuff. They're playing with blocks. I think that pretty much speaks volumes to what you're saying. So thank you so much, Doc. We appreciate it. Always great to see you.
Thank you.
All right, stay with us. We got a lot more coming up right here on North Dakota Today.